But, I don't know, Priest of Titania, super powerful mana engine. Eladamri, super powerful card draw engine. Wirewood Symbiote, also really good for extra mana, bouncing your Quirion Rangers and untapping your Priest of Titanias, and also just protecting all of your extra elves. Um, and the Disciple of Freyalise is mostly in the deck, so you like brick a little bit less on your Eladamri when Eladamri's in play. But I'm really excited about this one. We've got one Elvish Visionary as a core target to value with Wirewood Symbiotes. Yeah, no Tyvar in this build. You could certainly play Tyvar, but I think I just wanted to be a little bit more leaner, meaner, and greener. Any consideration for Yavimaya, so you can return Disciple of Freyalise with a Quirion Ranger? You could. Yavimaya is like a really dangerous card to play against some decks, like against like Mono Green Tron. It's like really scary, but that could be fine. That could be even correct. But let's just do this for now. Why no Shaman? Yeah, you don't need Shaman of the Pack in your deck. It's Shaman of the Pack is super win more, super unnecessary. This build of the deck is going to be able to cast its entire library and kill your opponent with Ezuri without you needing to splash a color and have a win more card in your deck like Shaman of the Pack. I think I should actually hold the Heritage Druid. Obviously, if we knew what the matchup was, we wouldn't necessarily want to do this, but I think we want to be able to go like 2-drop plus Druid, activate Druid on turn 3, and not just expose it. It's usually what I like to do at least. The linear matchups continue. I still want to play some number of Archers with Titania. Dodging pings is really good. Elvish Archdruid is an awful, awful card, and I'm so happy to never register that card in Modern again. I am so off of it. I've played so much Elves, and I am so off of stupid Elvish Archdruid. I can't even describe to you how happy I am to never play that card again. With peace and love. That was Grixis. We played against like only linear decks with kind of an untuned Grixis list that seems better in grindier matchups, so we decided to pivot. A lot of burn, a lot of mill, a lot of Titan. Okay, happy to draw another one of these. I think I'll just play both of these, despite not necessarily having an elf to draw a card with the Leaf Crown Visionary next turn. Just need to get this in play. I need the Mystic to be able to block the Swift Spear, I think. I've played Cauldron and Elves before. I think the card is pretty bad in Elves, if I'm going to be honest. But I have tried it. What does Linear deck? Linear is usually aggro/combo. A deck that is just trying to accomplish one thing, and then non-linear is usually like mid-range or control. My opponent is not going to try to continue to kill my elves. Is going to go after my life total. Which probably means I will die next turn if I am not able to Disciple of Freyalise. Seems right to chump block with Elvish Mystic to gain 3 life, and so if I cast this Nettle Sentinel, it's kind of unfortunate. I'm not actually able to cast the Disciple, right? Yeah, I'm not able to. So I think I'm just going to play the Disciple and sack the Elvish Warmaster, gain 2 life, draw 2 cards. Also get a 3/3 in play is kind of nice. We're not running Shadow Sage because we're testing new cards. Don't like. Yeah, Shadow Sage is like really mostly nice to be able to win through the ring. Guess would be nice for the burn stuff. But I wanted to try to be lower on my color requirements if possible for today. So we got to get in. Put my opponent down to 5. I think I'm supposed to save the Llanowar Elves for another Leaf Crown Visionary. Is Shifting Woodland kind of free in Elves? We cannot get Delirium. So not a card I would describe as free. So they're going after my Priest of Titania, which is probably good news for me since I have a lot of mana already and just want to keep that life total high. And it seems like they don't even have a good attack here. So I get to go block here, take 3. I guess maybe that's a good attack. About 4 of the elf land. I mean, I considered it. So the problem with the elf land is that it's not a forest in your deck with 4 Quirion Ranger that really wants to be a very good Quirion Ranger deck. There's a Llanowar Elves on the top of my library. Yeah, so that's my reason for not including it. But you could include it. So seems like I can kind of easily attack with everything and then play Llanowar Elves, which untaps the Nettle Sentinel. And then with them being at 2, I'll just play both of them. Nice. So up a game against Burn. Burn Elves matchup's pretty funny, but the thing is you're just enough faster than them that they usually have to use their burn spells on your stuff, which usually means that you're going to be able to live. I'm going to bring in my Spellskite, and then not sure if they're going to have much like artifact enchantment hate against me. I think it's probably just the Spellskite over like Elvish Visionary. Wild that we won this. I think that's kind of like, I don't know, maybe just because the NBFC was able to gain me a couple life, but kind of how like Elves vs Burn has been going for me lately. Right, give this one a go. Flute for the Suspend Bolt. Flute doesn't. Oh, I guess it does. The pay extra 3. This is not a very good thing to be doing in this matchup. I think. What I think you want to do in this matchup is be fast enough and put enough stuff in play that your burn opponent has to kill your creatures lest they die. And if they're spending all their burn spells on your stuff, you'll eventually be able to assemble a win because they didn't have enough reach. It's my usual philosophy. Vandal against Eidolon. Yeah, you can maybe play Vandal to answer Eidolon or Reclamation Sage. Guess people are probably on Eidolon over Rolling Vortex. Would have been pretty nice here. I've thought about Necrobloom and like a 4-color rec deck. Which card is Necrobloom? I've not been thinking much about rec decks though, in general. Yeah, I think I'll scoop to Searing Blaze here. Obviously we could bounce it, but we're just 2 behind. Does seem like we need to get the Rec Sage in there too. Could trim Eladamri number 3. I think that's probably okay. Maybe Visionary number 4 instead. Let's do that. Be on the draw is not the best for us anyways. So we can go turn 1 Quirion Ranger, and if they let my Ranger live, we can play Titania on turn 2, and they only have 4 cards that kill my Ranger in turn 1. I think this is probably an okay card to keep. Okay, hand to keep rather. Oh, Necrobloom, the 4-drop. Yeah, that card's like not a reclamation card, I think, and also just kind of not a playable card in general. They suspend a Rift Bolt. Draw my land, so I don't need to bounce the land this turn, which is nice. And then we'll see if they Rift Bolt my Priest of Titania, and I'm kind of happy just 2 mana, gain 3 life. Is what it is. Need Dimir Frog and Tommy next. We started off with this Grixis Tomio Psychic Frog deck that I thought looked really sweet, but the metagame has been all Burn and Titan and Scales and Mill. That's been like the only decks we've been playing against, and so far it seemed a little bit better to. It's kind of painful, but I think I want to go Priest and the Nettle Sentinel because I can just untap and win if my Priest lives. Obviously, it's pretty painful against the Eidolon. And also the Nettle Sentinel needs to be in play to block the Eidolon. Have a Searing Blaze. Eidolon in the Searing Blaze is pretty good against us. TR3, Switch Prime, thank you. Undercloaker with the 15, thank you as well. Burn players lately, I don't know what's going on if they're like new to Magic Online, but it just takes them like a minute. We'll see. Okay. Team Energy is broken. You get Ice Fang and Flare of Denial with the energy package. I don't know. It doesn't sound. I'm not sold. PT with 20 gifted subs. Thank you, PT. Gotta get this up for PT. Make sure to thank him. Too many gifted subs from PT lately. So I'm down to 6. Probably pretty toasted. Helix me. Pass. Second main phase, suspend Riftbolt. I don't know why they're all like this. It's so weird. Seems like we probably have no outs. Is what it is. Eidolon and the Searing Blaze very good against us. Reclamation Sage killing the Eidolon, but also killing us. Rough. Is Vexing Bauble main deck worthy in my eyes? Doesn't seem that way with the metagame consisting entirely of mill and burn. I'm gonna mull again this on the draw. Would maybe keep that on the play. Legacy Grinder has come to Modern. Beside you and a delighted halfling. Cool. I think I might like to lead on Wirewood Symbiote so I could maybe protect my Elvish Warmaster. My opponent has kept a 1-lander, which is excellent news for me. Dude, Owls is broken! Broken. Okay, so I probably maybe should just run it back because they're probably just playing Nadu. So I'm gonna bring in a cheeky. Oh, too late. Sorry. It's okay. It's also fine, but I was gonna bring in cheeky Collector Ouphe. Okay, and they were just Yawgmoth anyways. Because historically, that was worst matchup. It's one of the worst Yawg hands I've seen in a while. It's kind of funny. Heritage Druid is also kind of the best top deck, which is nice. Could pop off a little bit here. So Visionary, if I cast it, means that they can't Bowmaster my Heritage Druid this next turn, which seems to be the most important thing. Is the record wrong? We're 0-1 this league. Lost to Burn. It's been the whole queue so far. Burn, Mill, Titan. Ooh, someone's doing something. Too bad. We probably won't get to see... Yawgmoth is so hard. I just malfunctioned a little bit there. But Yawgmoth is so hard to build, I feel. There's just, like, no clear answer to me. I'm going to draw a card. We definitely need to find a Nettle Sentinel if we're going to actually win the game this turn. Interesting. So I can go Symbiote, pick up my Nettle Sentinel. Should I float a mana? I guess I should float a mana. So untap my Llanowar Elves, return Heritage Druid, cast Heritage Druid, and then Draw at least one card. 2 cards. There's a Nettle Sentinel. Maybe a little late here, though. So draw. I mean, I can chord for another one. I think I'm just gonna have to pass. Actual winning this game this turn is not going to be very doable, but winning next turn should be pretty simple. And it doesn't seem like I'm super likely to die, but maybe Warren Soul Trader pops off. Could pop off. Okay, did not pop off. Don't really have much of a plan with this. We have Ezuri with no big mana. We do have Disciple of Freyalise in this hand as our land. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to put back the Quirion Ranger because I don't have an actual forest. Otawara. What the heck? Explosives on 1. Pretty surprising. Urza's Tower. My Nemesis Mono Blue Tron. You hear Athena snoring. No paid deck text. Just would block down the stream too much, sorry. I think we're also even not doing channel point deck text. It's just too much to get to. Too distracting, unfortunately. Okay, opponent, you may just be cooked next turn. We'll see. So we'll start on Leaf Crown Visionary. Okay, nice. So pay. Dude, Nettle Sentinel next. Nice. They're super duper dead, I think. Maybe not super duper dead, but they seem pretty dead. So play forest. I think I'll just fetched. I should have saved this maybe for Eladamri. Don't know if that is correct or not. But we don't get to draw a card off the symbiote, but we get to untap a Priest of Titania, and we get to bounce an elf for value here too. Been malfunctioning some today. Maybe getting a teeny bit too flooded. Okay, maybe not a teeny bit, maybe just too flooded. But we have the Ezuri region up, so we can't get O-stoned. Okay, good enough. So up a game against Mono Blue Tron. Let's bring in a Rex Sage. Let's bring in a Collector Ouphe. We could bring in Choke. Why Chord instead of X-Green 1 was played on Devoted. Chord is much better. Kind of simply put, Chord of Calling is like a 0 mana instant speed spell, and the Finale of Devastation is a sorcery speed spell that costs a lot of mana. Is very simply why Chord is much better. Let's get the Visionary trim. Let's trim 5th Elvish Mystic sometimes. Trim Ranger number 4 sometimes too. I would bring in Magus against normal Tron, but I think against Mono Blue Tron, you're probably not supposed to bring it in. If you bring it in the spot, it's not awful. But they're just not very good at being a Tron deck, They have a Dismember for my Nettle Sentinel, that's okay. If I had access to Greenstone to play Greenstone over Chord. I'm not sure. So one thing is that we don't have access to it, so we don't need to sweat it too much, but got 2 of these. I think if they have like Condescend, I want this to get countered. We don't have access to it, but I would probably play both. Like, Chord is really, 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 really good in this deck. Fair enough. So we get to resolve the Heritage Druid, I guess. But yeah, we would play Green Sun Zenith, but I don't know that we would just play it over Chord, but also Green Sun Zenith is not legal. Dude, interaction, Tron. Pretty gross. Although just classic does that and then only has an expedition map. It's kind of funny. Okay, I'm attack for 1. Tyroline, 26 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Untapped Water Grave, so maybe Lorien revealed. Doesn't look like it. Explosives on 2. And then just pops it. So let's play Leaf Crown Visionary, and then they are super F6. Draw a card. 2, 3. Elvish Mystic. Draw a card. Symbiote, and then I can untap something, but I can't replay an elf and draw a card this turn. I could hold the let's hold the Disciple of Freyalise, I think. Just send it back. Probably gonna chord for the new Eladamri. Do you think Felly has a place in blue-white with stuff like spreading? Yeah, Felly is incredibly good. Absolutely think you could play Felly in just like a regular blue-white deck. Nazar, 14 months, thank you, welcome back. Do you think Ritual is playable in Goblins? Which Ritual? Sorry. Kind of dumb. You gonna draw more cards there, I think? How? Because I could untap. I don't have. I can't tap the symbiote to the Heritage Druid, and I can't. I can recast the elf, but I don't have the extra mana to pay for the elf. Birthing Ritual. Yeah, maybe. So, I'm gonna bounce my Heritage Druid. Oh, maybe with the Quirion Ranger, I could have untapped something else, I guess. Not sure. Jacket Boy, Twitch Prime, thank you, welcome back. 2 cards in their hand. Okay. Not a card I was exactly expecting to see, but let's just, I think, just main phase Chord for Eladamri. They got 1 card in their hand. Eladamri plus Heritage Druid plus Leaf Crown Visionary, a lot of time just lets you cast your whole deck. Could maybe even put Disciple of Freyalise into play with Eladamri's ability. That could be pretty cool. So I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to play Leaf Crown Visionary first, because if there's whatever's underneath the Elvish Warcaller, if it's not an elf, I need to be able to draw a card. I could probably draw a card here anyways. And then I can go Priest of Titania, draw this Chord of Calling, make another elf, cast Heritage Druid. Nettle Sentinel is super nice here. Let's go ahead and not pay, because I can just use the Chord of Calling to shuffle if I need a shuffle at this point. And then not paying for that either. Really nice that Eladamri says all creatures, so you can cast Wirewood Symbiote off of it. I think that's probably a really big deal. And here's the symbiote to show that. So what do you want to do? Probably activate the symbiote now is fine. Okay, so we kind of bricked. I think what we're supposed to do. So if I chord for Nettle Sentinel now, I'm out of mana. No, I have 1 mana floating. Chord for Nettle Sentinel now. I guess it's probably better for me to activate this and then. Sorry, is this done on top 3? Okay. Then cast the Heritage Druid. And then say yes, and then I can draw this, and then that's going to allow me to shuffle my top card, which is kind of nice. Another Eladamri. So instead of casting that, we're going to chord for another Heritage Druid, or sorry, Nettle Sentinel. And then we can cast this Priest of Titania. We can't pay to draw a card, but we can make more mana after this because we have the Nettle Sentinels, and now this Quirion Ranger is a really, really good hit. So tap these 2, and then we get to cast here. And I think we're at the point where we can just kind of comfortably draw cards off of our Leafcrown Visionary. I probably should have, I'm sure people have been yelling at me to always yield, always yes. We're going to do that. And then we're going to 1, 2, 3. Just go ahead and cast the Ouphe. Play another Heritage Druid, draw another card. Can't tap to Collector Ouphe to Heritage Druid. 1, 2, 3. I also still have my Quirion Ranger, right? We're getting there. I mean, I'll draw it. And then the Ezuri is kind of free to cycle through since it makes 3 mana to cast it and then costs 3 mana. See what is underneath. Yeah, seems like we have to draw again. Keep the untapped one. We can play Symbiote. And then starting to really generate mana here. All this for opponents on top. We're going to win the game this turn. Don't worry, it'll just take a million clicks. Wouldn't be an aspiring spike stream without a million clicks. So this will let me chord for my Ezuri. If my Ezuri's already in play? I have Eladamri in play. Oh, I do already have Ezuri in play. Okay, I'll grab another Nettle Sentinel then. Oops. It's funny. Too many elves. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna untap some of our summoning sick or some of our tapped non-summoning sick elves. We're gonna untap them with our Quirion Rangers and our Wirewood Symbiotes. And then we're going to activate Ezuri a bunch. I have 9 cards left in my old deck here, huh? Waterfalls, 3 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Let's play this Priest of Titania. I think I'm just gonna go. It's kind of weird. I'm just gonna Chord for 0 because it's kind of like a 0 mana shuffle because I tap the 3 Nettle Sentinels and untap them. Because I want to flip. Oh yeah, I want to flip 1s here to make more mana. It's kind of silly, but I think it's correct. Just gotta get used to sequencing with elves again. But at this point, I should have enough mana because I have a lot of Oh, didn't mean to spin. But I have like 3 Rangers / Symbiotes I can use, right? So I can go choose Heritage Druid, bounce a forest. This is I guess wait, do I only have these 2 as non-summoning sick? These are all summoning sick. That looks right. So untap here, bounce. I really play everything else this turn. And then 3. I can also use Quirion Rangers. I can use my Wirewood Symbiotes to make more mana than this if I need it. So this is, I can activate Ezuri 2 times, which gives these 2 guys +3, +6 in trample. So it's going to be, that's 12 plus the 6 that's already in play. That's 18. Looks like enough. You had an Eladamri, but I legend rolled it. Yeah, I wanted the untapped one for tap for mana. Maybe I was wrong. But this is, 18 trample damage. It's just enough. We could go bigger than this, but gotta save my fingers some clicks. Yeah, I'm in before Cyclonic Rift. That was a lot. Hold on, me. That was through 2 engineered explosives, dismember, double remand, change the equation. I don't know. Maybe the 2 explosives part of that it's a bit more impressive. And then, oh no. This is EDH brain potentially seeping in a sometimes lethal condition, I hear. We have red for 1 of Magus of the Moon in the sideboard. Do you think there's any legit hate to the Nadu deck? It kind of depends on what you're playing. Flavor of Malice seems like a really, really good tool against Nadu. I redeemed the Seeing the Next card drawn like half an hour ago right before the subwave. Sorry, GOV. I'll sing this next one, I'll believe you. So up against Infinity, which is our best matchup by a lot, which is good news. And to honor, I'll sing Wirewood Symbiote. Not my best work. But not my worst work either. And Super match. Yeah, we got Eidolon and the Searing Blazed in games 2 and 3, which was pretty tough. So Quirion Ranger is an awesome draw here. I get to go untap my Llanowar Elves, bounce my forest, replay my forest for a big burst of extra mana here. Then, yeah, I could just play Eladamri next. Since my Nettle Sentinel untaps. Can't quite use this Disciple of Freyalise. That's okay. We can just go Symbiote. Untap these. Untap Llanowar Elves. Bounce Quirion Ranger. This allows me to use my Quirion Ranger again this turn if I need to. But I think I'm just going to try to keep it kind of simple this turn. And say, okay, opponent, you are very dead. and you're playing Affinity, so I don't know what you're gonna do about it. My brain is not nearly big enough to do math for Elves. So Elves is a lot smoother on Magic Online, where it all just kind of does the math for you. For whatever that's worth. But my opponent is, I believe, going to be super duper dead this turn. Can't even get Metallic Rebuked. Another Nettle Sentinel is the best hit here. To the chatter who was asking about, why it is that we play Nettle Sentinel in this deck, I hope that these last couple games have been somewhat helpful to you. We'll be able to untap our stuff to attack with it, so I'm not too worried about tapping my last non-summoning sick elf. Ooh, another Elvish Warmaster is pretty big here. You just stop making this deck look so good. Dude, Elves is sick. It's really fast. It's got a lot of card advantage. Not very good against Bowmaster, not very good against Toxic Deluge. But you got some good stuff going on. Dude, Affinity is like... This matchup's a little too good, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I need this Revoker. Probably gonna leave the Revoker at home. Masked Vandal's also not gonna get online that often. Probably still fine to bring in. I'm gonna trim an Eladamri, Elvish Mystic number 4, Quirion Ranger number 4, leave Crown Visionary number 4. Cut the Visionary, probably cut a Disciple of Freyalise 2 on the draw. A little low on the land count, think it is fine. The Red Storm deck was really, really good on Friday, and I am excited to play some more of it this week. I don't know if we're going to get to it today. I really am itching to get to it, but I think it's good to play maybe some stuff we haven't played yet. We've got a long stream to do today. Personally, cut 2 of the Rangers, still have 2 elites. I think 4 Rangers are just super mandatory, but maybe that's not as true with the symbiotes. But yeah, you are allowed to build the deck however you like, of course. Yeah, I did see that Ral's price spiked, but that card is really, really good. That card was kind of crazy, crazy good. Let's maybe keep this hand against Affinity. What do y'all think? I'm looking at free starter lookout decks going forward. I think Coffers is going to be a really good deck, and I think that free starter lookout will be a really good deck in Coffers, or a card in Coffers. But we'll see. Is Ral that good? One thing is Ruby Storm just seems to be a really good deck. It's fast, it has a lot of card advantage, it's hard to interact with, and it's really consistent and resilient, which is just a combination for a good deck. Which is also kind of not been true of Storm. And then Ral is a really, really good card in this deck too. So how good it is a little TBD. I'm gonna save the Ranger to maybe trigger Warmaster to maybe pitch to Force of Vigor. Just chill for a turn. Although there's a good chance at this point I'm just gonna be hard casting these forces. Amount of times I've cast a Sideboard Freyalise, a 6-mana 3/3 Nameless Titan, slightly embarrassing. Better than the Forest still. I have ordered 0 MH3 cards and probably will continue to not order any until I have a tournament to play. I kind of recommend y'all do the same. Alright, that's fine, I guess. I can play the removal game here with me having all these Force of Vigor. It's kind of funny they haven't given me a target for it though yet. I think a Nadu deck is worth investing in paper. In what version? I've been liking the fair Bant Nadu deck. We need to test Bant Primal Prayers. I never will give you any investment advice, but I will say that Nadu is a really good card. But the right build is unclear and how good and there's no metagame yet, so it's just, I'm not going to tell you it's a good or bad investment. So they finally have given me a Force of Vigor target, but I'm probably not going to go after that one too aggressively. That being said, they're just dead to my Elvish Warmaster stuff next turn. Guess I could have Pendelhavened, but maybe Pendelhaven lets me save Priest of Titania from, like, 2 damage to all non-artifact creatures. Grexis is for... Okay, sorry, I'll update the deck list. Oopsie daisies. So let's go ahead and kill this Kozilek's Sealing before they can cast a 7-drop in their hand. What is El's worst matchup? Usually El's worst matchup is Yawgmoth by a lot. We did beat it today. So I'm pretty sure we just have... I guess Elvish Warmaster doesn't give trample, huh? Skepsis with the 9 months. Thank you. Welcome back. You gotta block 2 things, though, and then if they do that, they're gonna go to 2 life points, and I don't really know what they're supposed to do. 2 cards here. Okay. So let's get a 4-1 prediction going. I'm gonna fix the Mox field real quick, but also... Yeah, we played Grixis, and we played against Mill twice, Burn twice or thrice, and then Amulet Titan, and then we beat Scales. We just kept losing to, like, these, like, old linear decks. And I kind of want to circle back to Grixis if the metagame gets grindier, more mid-rangey, and if like, you know, we can maybe tune it for the metagame a little bit. Basic Island, Aether Vial. Warmaster. Ranger. So I said Affinity is our best matchup. Merfolk might actually be our best matchup. Nah, Affinity's gotta be better. It's just like we have so many crazy hate cards. But Merfolk is also really, really good. So we do only have 5 mana next turn, so we can't quite cast this Disciple if we draw nothing else. So I'm going to untap my Llanowar Elves and bounce my Quirion Ranger so that I can trigger my Warmaster again this turn. Just pass back. Affinity is better matchup. Merfolk used to be able to Subtlety. Yeah, that's true. I would say Affinity at that matchup has just got to be like... It just feels so unlosable. They have their Island Walk going. Kind of weak to Shauna's Tidebinder, too. I'm going to crack it a turn. Do you think Cauldron would be good to put on Priest of Titania? I played Cauldron and Elves before. The thing is, it's just like, is only good if your opponents are killing your stuff, and maybe simply put, this is not usually a zone where Elves thrives, but could. So we have the legacy Elvish Visionary plus Wirewood Symbiote thing going on. I'm going to Tidebinder my Warmaster. It's fine. I think I can just bounce my Warmaster now. So untap my Elf, bounce the Warmaster, and then just play Warmaster Priest of Titania. I can try to bounce the Visionary end of turn with my Symbiote too. Could be good. Hopefully they don't counter this Priest of Titania. Also, I don't think we're dead, right? I mean, if they have another Lord, we might be. So like if they vial another Lord, that's 5, 8, 12, 14. Yeah, we're actually dead to another Lord. Island Walking Lord only, though. That being said, we should have pretty lethal, just like with Titania, untap it twice, Warmaster activate 3 times. Okay, so bounce my priest. Better than me losing the game. So I need to do a little bit of math, I guess, because I can 5, 6. Ranger on tap. So they block here, and then they take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so it's not going to be enough for me to just Warmaster activate one time. So let's go ahead and bounce the Visionary now. This land of mine should be the island. Bike, 2 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Can't we Ranger bounce the forest you're going to target? I mean, it's not a forest at the moment, so no, we can't. We're going to need to try to find a Heritage Druid, I think. Oh, looks like they have a 0 mana counterspell. Oh, I clicked backwards? Oh, no. That's really bad, because I need to be able to untap this elf. So I guess I'm just dead. Unless I find Heritage Druid underneath this Llanowar Elves. Sorry about that. We're bringing the Choke. Gonna bring in the Rec Sage. Gonna bring in the Ouphe for Aether Vial. Seems probably fine. Probably not. I mean, the Visionary thing just doesn't seem very good in this matchup. I think it's fine to trim. Trim the 4th Quirion Ranger a lot. Seems fine. Open Tommy drafted Moto. What I saw. No financial advice, unfortunately. I really just don't like to think about it. I have no idea what any cards cost right now. Nor do I care, nor have I bought any, nor will I buy any for a long time. I just want to build the decks, and y'all can, figure this shit out yourself. With peace and love. But yeah, Mingu likes to buy high and sell low, which I think is a pretty good strategy. Or buy high, never sell. Sorry, Mingu. It's just not for me, It's just not what I'm into. What's on the Mold of 6? Hitachi, thanks for the raid. Appreciate you, homie. Hope you're having a good one. Sequencing is a little weird. So I can go Warmaster. I think I just go Warmaster Symbiote and pass. Try Sealed, suck to ass. Could be one of those skill issues I keep hearing about. Unclear at this time. If I had the most fun playing from MH3, Ruby Storm probably, and then that deck's been really, really good. Uh-oh, opponent. New card alert. Just bouncing that back to my hand. Yeah, Symbiote's going to help a lot, I think, against removal. Yeah, new old card. Who else to burn? We won game 1, and then my opponent Eidolon and the Searing Blaze in games 2 and 3, and that seemed pretty good against us. Not ideal. I brought in the Rec Sage, right? Yeah. But I can just I just have a bunch of lords here. Nice. Alright, Curse Totem lose the game. Don't mind that. So, okay, do I want more than just the Rec Sage now that I know that they have Toady? I mean, obviously I have the chords for the Rec Sage, so I could play Masked Vandal also. Seems fine. Also, they're playing a lot of non-islands. I think I'm just boarding out the Choke on the draw. They have the Sink into the Stupor, Mutavaults, Caverns. Why only one Elvish Visionary? Elvish Visionary is a pretty bad card. It's good with Wirewood Symbiote, so you can just play one copy as a chord target, and I think that should be fine. Okay, we have a sneaky second land in our hand with the Disciple of Freyalise, so we have a keep. Why Nova Sage? We're a a deck that needs to play mostly Forest in our Quirion Ranger list, and so I have 2 Disciple of Freyalise and 1 Pendelhaven. I think that these are all better than the one of Boseiju, but it's possible that the first Boseiju is better than the second Disciple of Freyalise, but I just kind of played 2 of these to get more reps with it, if that makes sense. And I at the moment, I don't want to play any less Forest than I have in my Quirion Ranger deck. I think I'm at like max Forest capacity. Volatile Stormdrake. It's been a mainus among the Timeless. I've stolen Shieldreds, Obliterators. It was really bad for me when I was playtesting it with Dingo last week. I think that is mostly just a sideboard card and not a very good one at that, but time will tell. I think they're going to tap down my Mystic here with a Trickster. We did cast Disciple and won us a game against Burn. Interesting. I think I should just bottom this. How about Yavimaya? I mean, Yavimaya is... The thing about Yavimaya is it's like... What's cool is that it can turn this into a forest for you to bounce with Quirion Ranger, which is something. But the problem with that plan is that it can help your opponents, and it isn't much better than just a basic land most of the time. I think we start with Eladamri. Eladamri being able to cast Symbiote from the top is really nice. Yeah, I think we just cast that and pass. Could have been good to try to set up our mana a little bit more. I think this is probably fine. Adding Aetherworks Marvel into the Cage deck. It would just be a very different build of that deck, but maybe you could do that. Right now you only have like 1 card that makes synergy, and you don't have enough lands in your deck to support 4 mana spells, but it would be a super different build, but a build you could maybe do, yeah. Not surprised that card is in their deck at the moment. And y'all hear Esther cackling maniacally in the background. Usually the stream background. Yeah, I just want to leave as many like elves untapped as possible. I'm courting for Nettle Sentinel here. I wish I knew it was so funny. She's probably watching the stream. Yeah, for some reason it did seem like it overtapped, and I'm not really sure what that's about. I can go here, untap my Elvish Mystic. I guess it's better to untap Heritage Druid, return Elvish Mystic. And then if I have a 1 mana elf underneath this Masked Vandal, I can keep going. But I don't have a 1 mana elf, so I can't keep going. So I might as well draw and then untap, and then... Oh, I could have bolted myself, I guess, to... Oh, I didn't even have to bolt. Okay, sorry. I should have definitely cast this Priest of Titania. That's okay. We're in pretty good shape for next turn, and just see if my opponent can kill me. Doesn't look super likely. This is game 3, right? Okay. Is that? I mean, I do have the Rex Sage, but if they have an answer to it, then we've got a game. Not gonna draw, I think. Not yet. So if I want them to have Flair of Denial or not Subtlety, so that this would go to the yard, and then I could Masked Vandal the totem. See if they actually have something like that. Weird. Okay. I mean, I'll accept them having nothing. 1, 2, 3. I don't think it really matters. I think they're super dead. 4-1 after losing to Burn in round 1 with Elves. I feel like that was a pretty good showing for the deck, but it also kind of feels like the metagame is kind of weird and kind of right for Elves, if that makes sense. Let's see what our chests give us.
A grief.
Although we're playing on Inspiring Timmy, so I don't get to keep any of these cards. So shout out to the believers. I want to play a lot of different stuff today, so let's move on to a different deck. But Elves looking good.